today I'm here with Clarence. Clarence will be sharing some need-to-know information about renting in Singapore. So welcome, Clarence.
Hi everyone, and thanks Maddie. My name is Clarence. I'm a Senior Director with ERA Singapore. ERA is actually the largest real estate agency in Singapore. I have more than 7,000 realtors in the company. So all of us are licensed realtors, and I'm very glad to be with Maddie this morning and to talk about if you're relocating to Singapore, what are some of the things you should look out for.
As a Senior Director, Clarence will definitely be sharing some good tips with us today. So let's get into the questions. So whether it is an expat moving to Singapore or if it's just someone new to the rental market in Singapore, what are your top tips on people in those situations?
Yeah, that's a good question, Maddie. So there are a lot of things in Singapore which is a bit different from bigger countries like UK, Australia, or even the US. So just one quick example that my tenants have often asked me, I have a lot of tenants from New Zealand and Australia, is that we do not have a third-party company in Singapore that holds the security deposit. So that is actually held by the landlord in Singapore, which is why the whole liaison with the landlord is very important in Singapore, because there is no third-party company who's going to be handling matters like that. And likewise, the repairs are oftentimes undertaken by the landlord agent. He is or she is the go-to person if as a tenant or as a tenant's agent I need to get anything fixed. And therefore it's very important as a tenant you have someone to represent you, because for the landlord side they definitely have a representative, which is the landlord's agent.
Yeah, definitely. That's a totally different environment that a lot of expats wouldn't be aware of.
Another, I think, important thing will be that I find it funny, but this is after a few hilarious experiences, is that a lot of my tenants will ship their furniture and even right down to the kitchen sink, So not to worry if you are moving to Singapore, please do not move any of the items here unless something that has a lot of sentimental value to you. Furniture in Singapore is also easily accessible. There's a large expat community in Singapore. A lot of them buy and sell their own furniture when they leave Singapore. So you can pick up really good pieces, sometimes at very good prices, and then the size will be more suitable for the Singapore's condo. I have an Australian tenant, I still remember, he shipped his sofa to Singapore, and his sofa is 3.5 meters long. So that basically takes up the whole space in his living room, and then he realized it was a disaster. Not only that, he couldn't find someone to buy it from him because nobody needs a 3.5 meter sofa in Singapore.
Yeah, I can understand where he was coming from, but that's a shame. He had to get rid of his sofa. So, what do you think is the value of incoming expats working with a property agent in Singapore?
Okay, that's a good question, Mandy. I serve a lot of expat tenants myself. I work with a lot of companies as in corporate accounts, and also Relogo has helped a lot with expats coming into Singapore. So I think working with an agent has really quite a few important advantages. Firstly is that for somebody who's relocating to a new place, there's a lot of adjustment to be made. So the last thing you want to worry about is really your accommodation. And in Singapore, we don't have short-term leases, unlike in Australia. The minimum lease in Singapore is typically a year, even though you could legally do a 6-month lease, but by and large, most landlords are not favorable towards that. So at least it's a 1 year, if not for 2 years. So without someone to assist you in the process, if you do choose a wrong apartment as a tenant, effectively you will be stuck with a wrong apartment for the next 12 months. Right, and so and there cannot be a reason to be given to the landlord and say that, oh no, I didn't know the surroundings is going to be like that. That is not a valid reason to exit the lease. So having an agent to help you will really smoothen the process to make sure there are no defects in the apartment. Like I mentioned, in Singapore there's no third-party company to handle these matters, so everything goes back to the landlord. So you do want to have a professional person helping you to make sure that the apartment is in proper order, the tenancy agreement is in proper order, and you're dealing with a legitimate landlord because you are going to be giving your deposit to that person. One other thing is that a lot of my tenants have also mentioned to me, hey Clarence, I saw this place that looks really nice on the listing, right? The photos are good. And many times when they send me the name of the condo, I will more or less be able to tell them, hey, I don't think that's a good choice. The reason why you have two big construction sites right next door. So these are things that we see very often. So again, good units are still hard to come by. That's really a fact in Singapore. We have many apartments to choose from, but the good ones are usually stamped up very fast.
Yeah, definitely. And employing the services of an agent like yourself or Relogo just means that, as an incoming expat, you have people that are on your side, that are working with you, not against you, to make sure that what you're getting is what you should get. Like you said, it's really different to some of the expat countries in terms of needing that tenant agent like yourself. That was a new concept to me, and obviously a very important one. Yeah, well, I think we've covered a lot of useful tips today. You certainly taught me a lot, as well as our audience, I'm sure.
Thank you guys for joining us today. I hope that whatever Maddie and I have shared will be helpful to you. And yes, welcome to Singapore. We are opening up real soon, and I hope to see you guys in Singapore soon.